As a starting entrepreneur, you have to make sure you don't get caught up in the Charlie Morgan syndrome. That's what I call it. Probably just like you, I started entrepreneurship when I didn't have any money, any knowledge. My parents don't have any money, any knowledge. So I had to learn it online from the people that are not scamming everyone, which is a handful of people that are actually very likable and very knowledgeable, like Charlie Morgan. And the mistake and the trap that's on the channels of those guys is taking advice from every single one of your creators. Like I followed Hamza, Alex Becker, Charlie Morgan, Sam Ovens, Andrew Tate. I think those are the main creators that I watched most content of. But the thing is, when you start listening to all of them, they all have small changes in their advice. So let's say Charlie Morgan says, don't drink caffeine, do meditation in the morning, do your gym at 1 p.m., and do a lot of cold calls for your business. Whilst Hamza says, wake up at 4 a.m., smash a lot of black coffee, drink a bunch of caffeine, work out at 12 p.m., and do this and do meditation at 7 p.m. And this seems like small changes, but if you're like me and you're poor, like I was poor, I would say I'm still poor in terms of entrepreneurship, but I'm wealthy enough to leave my home and to just travel around the world and do cool things. But that's not the point. When I was making zero money online, all the knowledge that I could get was from those guys. So what you do when you start to understand that those guys are actually spitting knowledge and you're like, oh my God, this getting rich thing is actually possible, what you start to do is you start to copy all those things. So you can ask my parents about this because it's funny. I started to copy every single thing that those guys were doing. So in the business advice, I started to follow Hamza's advice. So I started to make a lot of self-improvement videos. And then I started to follow Andrew Tate's advice with the caffeine. And I implemented a bunch of things. To get to the point, when you have zero knowledge and you understand that those guys have all the knowledge, you start to copy everything. Yes, awesome, they are rich, I'm not, I want to get rich, I'm just going to do what they want. But if one person says do a bunch of organic traffic with social media, and the other one says do cold outreach to businesses, and another one says do paid ads, and you trust all of them, and you're going to try everything, and one says you do zero caffeine, the other one says do black coffee, the other one says energy drinks, you might think, oh, who the fuck is going to care about that? I did. I listened exactly to what those guys were doing. Andrew Tate, black coffee, so I do black coffee. Okay, 4 a.m. wake up like Hamza did, so I do 4 a.m. wake up. And before you know it, you have 6 to 7 habits that you're trying to follow and that are not aligned. And Charlie Morgan says this and he says this. So overcomplicating your life is the Charlie Morgan syndrome that I call it, because Charlie Morgan he's the most relatable to me because he's young, he's white, to be honest, that's just relatable. It's not racist, it's just relatable. He came out of Europe, he's a receding hairline, which is also relatable. He's goofy, which is relatable. So that's why I used him for this example of the video. He has organic, creative, unique marketing, so that's why he's relatable, whatever. I do YouTube marketing for a living, so that's why. That's why I made this video, because in my eyes, he had the most healthy habits, but then he was not the richest of those guys, so you also start to listen to them, and you start to overcomplicate your life. And why am I making this video? Because Charlie Morgan recently made a video on this, and I realized that I was doing all of this wrong, and now I'm increasing my income now substantially. So I learned that by simplifying my life more, I make more money. Because instead of trying to make it as difficult as possible, when I started, I was meditating, I was doing cold showers, I was doing, like journaling, all those things. I was manifesting, I was watching a bunch of self-improvement videos. I did a bunch of those things, and it was definitely not optimal. And now, what do? I wake up, I stand in the sun here in Bali, on the grounding with my plain feet in the grass there, in the sun. I check my phone with all the messages on my phone with work, because I'm in the Bali time zone, which is kind of unfortunate for the US people, so I have to be on my phone immediately. And then when they go to sleep in the US time zone, I chill out a little bit, I make my videos maybe, I go to the gym, I go to a cafe, drink a coconut, I'm chilling here in the pool, I'm just chilling, and then after that I start to work, like from 5 p.m.-ish, when I've done all my stuff, I start to work, and that works perfectly fine. I'm about to hit my first 10K month, so personally for the agency we make way more, we just hit our first 6-figure month, but like it's obviously profit, like whatever. You understand the point. By simplifying my life more and letting loose of those habits and listening to everyone at the same time, my life became better. You have to be aware of all those tricks and you have to fail with some of them. I know that what it's called meditation worked for me. I've learned that fasting worked for me, but journaling doesn't do anything for me. And I don't have to go to the gym at a specific time that works for me. Try around with those small things, but be aware that everyone has their personal changes that you should listen to, and that it's not bad to try it out. Try it for a week, but then realize, okay, or like think about it and decide if you're going to do this long term. Okay, did this thing, going to the gym, did it positively benefit me or negatively impact me? Probably positive, but for other examples, meditation maybe it doesn't work for you, so try around with it, but be aware that it's super easy to overcomplicate your life. Now I'm gonna super awkwardly walk away, so don't mind me, and I'm gonna end the video here. Goodbye.